Sometimes it happens right away and sometimes it doesn't. Tuesday afternoon, and only in a few hours, I will be on my show, the H.E.A.L show on the Spiritual Events Directory. But there's been a few things that have come up over the last week, really, that I feel quite compelled to want to share with you because if you if you're someone who is aware of the impact or the energy that hello to anyone that's watching, please know that you can say good day and make your comments. If you're aware of the powerful forces of nature, including the effect that planets, the moon, the ocean, hi Rosie, how you going, have on us, then you may be wondering why you've been feeling quite out of funk in the last couple of weeks. And funnily enough, it's called the Lion's Gate, and it's a huge, incredible portal which actually opened. Hi, Sammy Lee. Wow, what a thrill to see you on. Hi, Kerry Addison. It started on my birthday. Oh, so why should I be surprised that I was feeling very different? Actually, a few days before my birthday and then through to now. So some of you may be wondering why you feel all out of sorts. You're a bit, your funk just isn't quite right. And that's part of it. But for those who aren't in that kind of vibe, then you'll just be wondering why you're irritated, agitated, fed up, maybe teary, can't make decisions, and wonder what's going on with yourself. And that's what it is. And you'll be going, oh, that's that wacky stuff, doesn't make any sense. That's fine. That's where you're at. That's fine. Nobody's going to say right or wrong with that. And that leads me, Kat Gray, hello. That leads me into today's chat. And what brings me to you is through calls to assist people's family, reading of another lady who's into wellness. She was actually a personal trainer the same time that I was, and then went on into learning more about nutrition and how that affects our overall well-being. And the experience that she's having at the moment. And then a fantastic time on Saturday evening with a group of amazing souls, and I call them, this was my name for them, nurses of ethics. So that's what they are to me. These girls know full well the truth of what's been going on, what is going on, and they were not prepared to stand by and be part of it. So they are nurses of powerful ethics in my heart. Now, last week I was, hey, Joanne. Last week I was driving home from down south and I was talking to a very, very long time friend. And she said, we're lifetime friends actually. And she said, oh yeah, I heard you on that thing you do. I heard you on that, that thing. And I was thinking that thing I do. I know she heard me. And I said, oh, you mean the H.E.A.L show? Yeah, that thing you do. It doesn't really interest me. That stuff's not of interest to me. Now, some time ago, long time ago, I would have been really hurt by that comment because she's a long time and very dear friend. And I would have gone all defensive and gone, well, what's the problem? And why are you calling it that thing you do? And went on to say, yeah, that stuff doesn't interest me. There's nothing wrong with my life, which implies that people who come onto the H.E.A.L show have got something wrong with their life. And that's obviously not correct. So I am going to say not correct. So something that has been brewing and stirring around the place really hi Charlie Ross, for quite a period of time. In fact, I'll just say it straight up. It's really been in the last 18 months, maybe 2.5 years, that people have been different and they have been behaving differently. Even, hi Rhiannon and welcome, even to the conversation with my beautician today, to say that she herself has found that her clients and herself, everything's different, isn't it? We feel different. Things are just different in the way people are when they go out, different in the way people are talking and interacting. So, I'm taking all these conversations in and having a little bit of a washing machine, spin and rinse, spin and rinse with them, tossing out what I don't want, having a look at what sits and thinking about how does all this come into play. Well, those of you who most often are on my show because you want to know how to uplevel your life, you want to know the power that you have to be able to change your wellness, to change your destiny, you'll know what I'm talking about. Tracy Thompson, hello, lovely. And you'll be aware of why people are different. So my beautician was telling me that all of a sudden she's having cold sores pop out. She hasn't had cold sores since she was a kid. She can't remember things. She feels wobbly some days. And of course I said, well, you're all waxed up, aren't you? And at first she was like, what? And I said again, she goes, oh, yeah. And the dots don't connect. So that's one side of it, right? And then I was asked to go and clear and cleanse a house that was having a lot of heavy energy, not good energy. So I go along to the house, and I was also informed about the 31-year-old son and the trouble that he'd been having with hearing voices. And they figured that it was just because of the activity in the house. So I asked if I could work with him while I was there and have a look and see what was going on. So I met him, and he was very timid, and I myself heard one of the voices speaking to him. And so I spoke to him about that voice, and he was absolutely astonished that someone else could hear what he was hearing. And I said, yes, you see, I understand. I understand what this is like. This has been my life too. And then I had a different energy with him. And I was able to ask him, I asked him if I could put my hands on him, and he said yes. So I immediately brought in the energy to close down all of his portals that had been created through medication. I asked if I could regenerate him, and he said yes. I had explained what that was. In the meantime, his family that were around, sitting around us, were just gobsmacked, and they were kind of having a little whisper to each other. And I carried on with my work, and then I thought, I wonder what that was about. They've also got a very, very large dog. And that dog came in, and I noticed the family looked sideways at it. And the dog came in and went straight over and laid on its bed and went into the deepest sleep. And the family were like, wow. So when I finished working with the young man and found that his liver was all swollen through the impact of medication, his lymph system is all choked up and chugged up, which means his immune system can't function properly, that he is losing bone density, a lack of calcium through the side effects of the medication. The mum then told me that he had been put on medication for glaucoma. So glaucoma is a growth on the eye, and it is normally removed through surgery. But of course, those of us that know that we have the power to change things in our physical self ourselves will know that the surgery may not be necessary. So she informed me that he'd been put on this medication, and I had said that there had been a very big change in him from 6 years ago. And when she tracked it back, she said, oh my, that's when he was put on this medication for the glaucoma. And he's had so much difficulty, and these voices have been a lot more powerful, a lot more stronger since then. So his mum decided to have a look into this medication, and one of the side effects, or the biggest side effects, is schizophrenia. You know, it leaves me absolutely gobsmacked that the medical world are handing out medication like it's lollies when they are fully aware of the side effects. I know one of my dear girlfriends, when her son went through a very, very bad time and was put on antipsychotics and antidepressants and anti-fit and you name it, anti. Yeah, Tracy, it sure is. I know that through her experience, on one of the times she took him to have his meds reassessed because, yes, Joanne, yep, um, because that's what they do. They bring you back in for a reassessment, which means they can up the ante on the antes. Anyway, she found that her son, in the middle of the night, he was getting up and going out and coming back with buckets of KFC. And she's like, what is this about? And he would say he didn't want anything else to eat. He would go to Macca's, he would go to KFC, anything that was, rubbish, and he couldn't get enough of it. And it was as if he had this addiction for it. And when she raised this, and he put on a lot of weight, so she was very concerned. And when she raised this with the psychiatrist, they smiled and said, "Oh, yeah, did I not tell you that one of the side effects of those new meds is a great craving for fast food?" And that psych laughed and thought it was funny. These things burn me up. They really do. And as Joanne said, yeah, it is sad to see people accept the medical world. And Tracy, it's all about the money. Absolutely it is. And it is also about ensuring people remove themselves from their own responsibility of themselves. Now, I know there'll be some people watching now or watch later and go, "Oh, that she doesn't know what she's talking about. I have to have my meds." Well, I'd be happy to lock horns with you because I know what I'm talking about, and I know things can be different. And I know that when you don't take responsibility for your own life, then you're dependent on medication. You're dependent on a system that is not about your health. So just before getting on here, I was having voice calls with a lovely man, not this kind, real calls with a real man, because of a post that I saw he'd put up, and he was very upset that he'd been to his he heard voice from meditation. No, medication, Cat, medication. The medication he was put on, the side effect of that medication is schizophrenia. Amazing, hey? So this man that I was talking to before I came on here, and he's another reason that I came on, is that he's been on antidepressants for a long time and figures he doesn't want to do that anymore because his senses are telling him that they are affecting his liver badly. So he went off to his GP and wanted to have this conversation. And she wouldn't hear of him coming off them. She wouldn't hear of offering anything else that would be helpful to him. Now, I'm just going to say this straight out. Antidepressants, oh, yes, Kat, I did. Yes, I was able to link to one of the voices talking to him because they're spirit. They're lost spirit. They're just the meanderers that wander around among us all the time, millions of them. All existing on different planes, different frequencies, and they can be heard by some of us. So, yes, I was able to hear this one, and her name was Penny. So, with this lovely man who wanted to get off his antidepressants, and the GP wasn't the least bit interested, He was just furious. He said he was still steaming mad because she wasn't even interested in having the conversation. Now, the reason they're not interested in having the conversation is they lose money. And that, for anyone that wants to argue it, it is a fact. I used to be a nurse. I still hang out with nurses and with doctors. It's a fact. They get paid to prescribe you medication. Why would they not want to send you off to do meditation, nature walking, breathing exercises, making changes in what you eat, what you drink? Why? Oh, because when you don't make those changes, you are a cash cow for them. Because for as long as you are staying in the crap lane of the way of living, you are an opportunity for them to make money. So they're not going to give you alternatives that are going to actually hand you back your sovereignty, hand you back to being able to be guided by your own inner ability to heal. No way are they going to. So, for a very dear friend to say to me, oh, I heard you and what you do is no interest to me. It's meeting people where they're at, as another lovely young lady told me many years ago, or when you've got to meet people where they're at. It's more a case of knowing how to be discerning with the people you engage with, knowing how to shut out the conversations that do not align to the vibration or the level of soul awareness that you want to live in. So when you're looking to up level your own life, you've got to get rid of a lot of people, a lot of conversations, a lot of habits that are not going to support you up leveling your life. And why would you want to up level it? Well, I'm going to say, why wouldn't you want to? Now, Kat, thanks for clearing that up. And my housemate has been diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar, lots of voice, on medication, off medication. Yes, that's right, Kat. On medication because it's one of the side effects of schizophrenia meds and bipolar meds. And when he hears them more off medication, it's because he's a channel. It's because his energy fields are open. He's receptive and has never been taught how to close that down. And that is one of my greatest roles in this life, is to help people shut down all that intrusion and to know when it's theirs and it's not theirs. I was one of the 13 psychics, clairvoyants, palm readers, card readers, whatever, that began the very original get that person out of here and ban them. Kat, if you ignore this person, please, this Sodic chakra, they're a troll, they're a dangerous person, they're replying to Charlie Ross. Charlie, if you are able to get rid of them, block them, please. They are a troll and a very unpleasant person, or bot, maybe. Who knows whether they're real or not. So we just trash them as they need to be trashed. So the thing with people that he doesn't like it, I've tried to help, he doesn't want help. Oh, well, then that's it's very possible it's not him that doesn't want the help, Kat, because he could have an entity, a spirit that has literally taken more control of him than he is aware. So it's not necessarily him that is saying, I don't want the help. And most often people that can hear voices and are being plagued by them are really having their life turned upside down. They know the difference. They know when there's been the intrusion, and they still have that power of themselves, but they don't know how to shut it down. And this is the really sad thing about people that have been diagnosed with multiple personality disorder. Schizophrenia is the worst one, bipolar, all those things. Is because there is holes in their energy fields, and I'm just putting that in layman's terms. All right, there's holes in their energy fields. It's creating this opportunity. Now, because of the disturbance around parts of the world, and it's not global, but the energy that's being generated is most certainly global. Because of that, there is a lot more agitation between the planes. There is a lot more agitation and opportunistic spirit and entity that are taking advantage of weak people. And I'm saying that word because they are, in a sense, weak, meaning weak in energy, right? Weakened fields. When we walk around and we don't know how to protect ourselves, or we don't hold our energy strong and have boundaries, understand discernment, understand ourselves, then we have a weak energy field, right? Everybody's very precious about words these days. So when people are in that way of living, then they're very susceptible to being intruded upon, and it's a real problem. So it can be, the good news is it can be changed. So the man that I was talking to as well, he was telling me about his 16-year-old daughter who is self-harming and depressed and severe anxiety, and all they've done for her is loads and loads of meds, and it's a one-way track when it's like that, and it's not a good outcome. And as most of you know, my own nephew ended his life in March after a very difficult and tragic time with meds and with psychs and all the rest of it. There is a better answer. There is a better solution, much better. And it just means people need to decide that they want to know more about themselves, that they want to know how to up-level their life. And then the other thing that I read before I came on here was about the lovely lady I said was a personal trainer at the same time that I was. And her father has had very chronic kidney disease, had been in a coma, has had a very, very rough 14 months. And after coming out of the coma and the to and froing with treatment, because they don't really know what's going to work, and that's the truth of it. They do not know what is going to work, and that's why it's try this, try that. It's all trial and error. You could use another word, experimentation. When I was nursing, it wasn't like that. It really wasn't. Things are so very different, and all for a bigger picture, shall I say. So she was saying that she now looks after her father at home and has had to become a nurse. She has a hospital trolley in her home. She is given the routine, the daily routine, all of the things, medication and all the treatment that the nurses should be doing in the hospital. She's been given that, and that means the responsibility of that is on her. It's not on the hospital or the medical professionals. I was absolutely astounded to hear that they have done that. I know that they send people home very early. I know that they don't do a lot of care once people are awake anymore. And I don't mean awake in the way that word's being used around the place now either. Hi, Jodie Marie. How are you, darling? So this lady, as she says, I'm a qualified personal trainer, a holistic nutritionist, and now I'm finding that I've suddenly become a nurse. And she's having to do things that she's never been trained in. And this, as a nurse, that burns me up. It really irritates me. the medical system have got such a lot to answer for in this current time. But my heading to you today was upleveling your life. So I've given you all that mud, all that murk as lived experiences, right? As things that people, and a lot of you probably know a lot of people that are going through things that they just shouldn't be, going through things they're having to learn about that really isn't their role. So to up-level your life, the key word is responsibility. The key word is self. Because when you don't have responsibility, so I'm going to deflect here to another example. Out on the footpaths here where I live, there is now a dotted line and a stop sign painted on the footpath. You know, it absolutely astounds me that people have become so lazy in their way of living, no responsibility. So if I step out on the road and I get run over, it's not my fault because you didn't put a stop sign on the pavement for me to know I had to stop there. If I send my child to school and they get hit by a car because they didn't stop where the road turns, it's not my or their fault. Do you see what I'm saying here, everyone? Responsibility has been diminished. I mean, people even have to have a gadget on them to tell them how many steps they've taken, and then they celebrate that they've done their 10,000 steps. What they don't get is they are handing over their soul. They are handing over their higher potential to live a soul-led life. They're just willingly going, hey, this is really cool. And everything that they do is monitored. Everything that they do is through an app. It's through something that tracks what they do, and they think that's great. It's not great. It is them not using their critical thinking and the brain that they were gifted to have. It's pure laziness, but aside from that, it is the responsibility thing. Anything that takes you away from being responsible for yourself stops you from up-leveling your life. Now, what difference could there be for you to up-level your life to where you are now? Well, a sense of freedom. And that means freedom in the body, a sense of joy that surpasses anything else. The joy that comes from yourself, not the joy of retail therapy or 10 coffees a day or, whatever those external things are. But to have that up level your life means that you have a greater greatness in everything that you do in your life every day. And that is what makes the difference. You're also able to find solutions. So when you're faced with things that make you feel like they're crippling you, faced with things that seem to take your energy away, you can very quickly turn that around when you are living an up-level version of yourself. So from the examples that I've given you today of the experiences people are having as a result of choices, as a result of medication, have a look at your life and see what small changes you could make that are going to up-level you. There's something very special that came through for me today. Where's my book? And it's so funny because it was about footprints. And you see, many years ago, I wrote a program for businesses and but it was aimed at the bosses. and I called it the footprint of your business. Yeah. Oh, you did, Kat? Oh, how cool is that? That's awesome. And so good for you on so many levels and everyone that participates. Well done, Kat. So, footprints everywhere that we step on Mother Earth. So, I haven't got my book to read it to you because this was brought through. So, it was like automatic writing. Everywhere that we step, we leave an energy imprint in our footprint and we leave it on the earth. So, you're very welcome, Kat. So, what is the energy of your footprint that you leave on the earth as you walk along? What is it that you are pouring into Mother Earth? You see, something that I asked, which is how this come through, was how is it that I'm being called back to work with crystals again? I used to use crystals in my healing sessions. I used to use crystals when I would meditate myself. And then, I don't know, it just stopped. I put them all away. They've been away for years and years. And just in recent time, I've been called to bring them out. And I've also been called to get some very particular ones. And it's been incredible. In fact, they're behind me. So look at this. Look at this beauty. Is a magnificent piece. Can you see all those colours in there? This is a most beautiful, powerful piece of labradorite. And it just hollered out at me. And the connection or the energy from, it is a beautiful piece, isn't it, Kat? From them as I've gone along looking at them has been just awesome, amazing. And asking what it is, why I'm being called back to work with these beautiful stones again. It led me to write the automatic messages. Oh, do you, Tracy? Awesome. Rosie, and that's only one of them. Here's the other baby that was causing me no end of no end of trouble. This is an absolutely magnificent piece of kyanite. It's a bit like Superman, hey? Of kyanite. It is absolutely stunning. Actually, the light doesn't really do it justice, but it is just beautiful. And these are really powerful crystals. And I have to show you this baby. And this is this is why I couldn't sleep, Rosie. And thanks for remembering that. Oh, this is a big piece. So this is a magical piece, absolutely magical piece of sugilite. And you know what's really interesting? This came through in a meditation on the plane as we were flying across from WA to the east. And it came through that I was to have some sugilite and sodalite. Now, I'll be honest with you and say I'd never heard of sugilite, and the fact that I haven't worked with crystals for a number of years, like, oh, wow. Yes, that's what it feels like, Kat. You're quite right. Like, ooh. So I bought that over East, and hubby wasn't impressed. Like, what? We're going to have to go into excess luggage with that. There you go, Tracy Thompson. So when I walked in the shop, my favourite shop in Brunswick Heads, it's called Whatever. It's absolutely awesome. And I said to the lady, do you have any sugarlight? And she said, sugarlight. And I said, yeah, sugarlight. And she went, oh, you mean sugilite? I went, oh, whatever. Thought it was sugarlight. And she said, you know, it's really strange you asked for that. Oh, you know it, Tracy. I love it, and I love the music. I love the lady in there. I go every day. Every time I'm in that area, I go every day into that shop. Are you serious? I was there for 10 days, Tracy, only a couple of weeks ago. Oh, my word. Well, I know who I'll be visiting next time. So, yeah, her music is too. We were telling her that she needs to make a CD of it. And she said, we just got a piece in today. When I go in the morning, a piece in yesterday. Um, Only one piece. And she said, it is so hard to get. Well, as soon as she put that piece down, oh my word, I could feel it. Oh, wow. It just blew me away. And I'm like, I have to have it. So, cut it back. And it is very heavy. And I've done some awesome meditations with it, and I just love it. And it's got faces in it. It's just a brilliant piece. So when I came home, I went to my crystal warehouse here to see if I could get a piece of labradorite, because that whatever shop had one piece come in while I was there, a big piece. Tracy, did you buy it? Because I wanted it, but it was weight and cost. Anyway, I said, if it's still here when I come back, I'll take it. But when I went in, the lady was very excited and said, oh, did you come in and get that labradorite? And I said, no, it wasn't me, but it's gone, hey. And she said, yeah. So I got a piece here, and I was telling, well, somebody got a ripper piece. So I was telling the lady at the warehouse here about this piece of sugilite, and she was just like, really? And she said, it is so hard to get. They can't even get it at the moment. And she said, and when we do get it, it's only small pieces. So my beautiful big, do your weights with it, my beautiful big baby here was clearly for me. That's what I'm going to say. And absolutely love it. So what I got through about the crystals and about our footprints really shows the importance. Oh wow, Tracy. Well, keep checking in with that lovely lady at the whatever, and ask her and see what they can do. It'll come when it's meant to. Oh, there you go. It'll come when it's meant to. So yeah, I just love it. And yes, that is why I couldn't sleep. I put the labradorite, the kyanite, and that sugilite. What else did I have next to me? A nice big piece of lapis, and a sodalite next to me at head height, wondering why I was bouncing off the walls the other night. So when I realised, I said, okay, you've all got to go out now. So asking today about the reason I've been called back to the crystals is to do with a lot of what's coming for humanity, what's coming for the world, meaning Mother Earth. That's right, Tracy, and that's where they best stay. So, and what I was shown about the footprints and the importance of our footprints. So when we up level our life and we come to a much greater awareness of how interconnected we are, how much of the oneness we are or we are not, then we can really work with our footprint on the earth. And I'm going to write a blog post about it. It will go also into my next book, because this awareness of footprint is so very important. And with what I came through with today, which is just beautiful. I had a fantastic facial last week. And it's no ordinary facial. The lady calls it Divine Bliss Facial, and divine it is. And she is a beautifully gifted soul. So I had no idea what I was going to experience. I was going along for a little bit of nurture, a bit of, facial beauty stuff. And it turned out to be the most incredible, wondrous experience. She turned my head one way to do the massage and all of that beauty work. And I felt a shift in me, and I felt it like a big surge of, like a wave. I thought, oh, what is that? And then she turned me the other way, and I wanted to, that surge was like a massive wave of tears, and I wanted to burst into tears. And I'm like, I'm not crying here. And one tear, really big tear, ran down my cheek. Jody Maria, it was incredible, absolutely incredible. I've never experienced anything like it. It's just beautiful. And I asked, because I'd said I'm not crying here, so it's one big tear that tracked down my cheek. And what I got in return was the burden of the tears of humanity you carry that you have not cried. And I was just, wow, gobsmacked with that. And it made a lot of sense to me. So it's something pretty special that I'm sharing with you there. But in part of the session, she said, oh, you work with Archangel Michael. He has a gift for you and is handing it to you. Yeah, wow, that's right, Jody Marie. It was more than wow. I'm going to talk about it on Thursday at more length in our session in the H.E.A.L community. So Archangel Michael, and what does he have for you, and where is that going to go in the body? And then she said, oh, or you work with Archangel Gabriel as well, and we have his presence here, and he's offering you something. What is it, and where will it go in the body? And again, I wanted to cry. Oh, I was so emotional in this facial, because there was so many beautiful messages. It was just divine. And I said to her, Archangel Gabriel has handed to me a feather pen, the old-fashioned quill pens. And he gave me a quill pen, and his words were, you be my scribe, and the book you will write is called, and I can't tell you the name, not yet, but the name was amazing. And the lady said, oh, you've got a book in you. And I'm like, well, apparently. And he put that quill in my heart, and it was just amazing. So I know that for a lot of you who are here with me, you will understand the relevance and the wow factor of that. It was just amazing. And I wanted to share that with you today, because as I came in with the irk, with the mud, of all these other things that take people away from being able to up-level themselves, and what it means to up-level your life. Even if you think your life, oh, you're welcome, Jody Marie. Even if you think your life is okay, or my life's fine, my life's good, it's not broken, unless you really are up-leveling your life all the time. Thank you, Kat. Yeah, it was. And don't openly share such things, but I thought that was too beautiful not to share. So unless you are up-leveling you and really looking at working your life through being soul-led, then you're missing out on so much joy, so much ease, even amidst the chaos and even the dregs of the chaos that are still around now. When you are up-leveling yourself on a, shall I say, a fairly regular basis, because it's an evolving, right? It's an evolution. So when we are doing that constantly, then we stay ahead of the chaos, and we can feel such amazing difference within ourselves. Truly, everyone, I know, many of you on here do your own practices, and I really appreciate you joining me and also sharing. That feeling, and Jody Marie yourself, with the awesome evolution or evolving that you've been through, which has been amazing. So it's that feeling. So for people to feel that, oh yeah, I'm all right, Jack, I don't need to change anything in my life. Yeah, that's where they're at, and that's where they feel they need to be at. But they truly are missing out on some magic. So to close our impromptu chat, getting to be quite a master at these impromptu chats. Yeah, Jody, it is. I want to share too more about the Conscious Soul Evolution Symposium that I'm touring around Australia with in October and November, and I can't wait to bring this. Tracy, if you're still on, I'm bringing this to Ballina. I'm going to be at the Ramada in Ballina with this. And the whole purpose, the objective of this is to shift the footprint. Really bring home the light. Yeah, Jody Marie, me too. Can't wait to be with you in person and have a hug in person. Yeah, Tracy, awesome. I can't wait to meet such a lot of you. It's so exciting. So doing this is to shift that footprint and to really bring us home, to help be the earth warriors of healing for the earth. Because what came through today is, as we heal the earth, we heal ourselves. And I just want to put on there too, just because we use the word heal doesn't mean we're broken. It doesn't mean that we're less than. When we heal something, then it's whole again. And it's only fair to say that when we've been unwell, we've had to do something to become well, which means we've healed. The mess around with words is another thing that just drives me up the wall in this last couple of years, and it's really being driven by the woke community, because the truly aware, the higher level consciousness people know full well that the words are the words. In the beginning was the word, and our words that we know to our heart and soul, there is no other mess around with them. So we don't need to, shift the vibration of the word heal to mean, oh, you're not broken. Again, it's this preciousness with words that's driven by the woke community, which is driven from the darkness, and that's all there is to it. So, and again, I'm happy to, butt heads and knock horns with anyone that wants to debate that. So healing is a gift. When you step up and go, I'd like to heal this, then you're offering yourself the most wonderful gift. You're also honoring the call of your soul. So don't let anyone tell you that, oh, don't use the word heal because you're not broken. Don't let people mess with you when it comes to the words that are of the word. And that's what matters. You align yourself with the words that resonate with the soul, that the soul knows are the word, and that's the only place you need to be. Using discernment is vital at this point in this time of humanity. So very important. Be discerning with your conversations, with what you read and believe, with what you watch and believe. Be discerning with everything that you just get this little tremor, like a little through you, and it should be enough for you to go, oh, that was curious. What's that about? So healing is a beautiful offering, and it is something special. And in my case, Heal with Gwenda, harmonious, enlightened, aligned life. Awesome. Who wouldn't want to have a life that is harmonious, enlightened, and aligned? It's the highest up leveling of your soul that you can do. So, with the conscious soul evolution, we have the evolution circle, and that is for those that have gone so far along their path of up leveling themselves and expansion within themselves. And they're kind of wondering what's next, where else can I go from here? So it's an experiential experience to up level and offer more expansion. And then there is the ascension circle. Woo, look out for that one. The ascension circle is really up there. So in the ascension circle, we go right out into the never nevers, going to be an incredible expansion. Kim Jade, hello. Blessed, yes, love. So the Conscious Soul Evolution Symposium coming your way in October and November. I can't wait. It is going to be a magical, most incredible transformational day. And Ballina is November, Tracy. I've got the dates on the web page. I can't put anything on here. Can I? Ooh. Yes, Kat, up in Queensland. I can't wait either. I'm so thrilled. So I haven't chosen the venues except for Ballina. The reason I'm using the Ramada is they didn't buy into discrimination. No, Tracy, no, you'll have to cancel it. I'm not sure, love. I haven't got it on the top of my head. So we'll have to make sure that you're here, all right? And who knows, maybe I'll be able to hang around and spend some time with those of you that have followed me and sat with me in these sessions and on Tuesday nights, and just have some fun time with you and bring through some beautiful channeled messages for you. Wouldn't that be cool? Remembering I retired, but hey, when I come over there and meet you guys, then I think magic should happen. Yeah, are you going to be up in Queensland then, Tracy, on the 11th and 12th? So it's on the website. I'd love you to go and visit, have a look and a read, and even share if you don't mind. I haven't started the Facebook page for it yet, but the web page is up, so it's got all the information and the dates are there, but not the venues. I could go there, Tracy. That's a nice place. So it's going to be an amazing day for our footprint, where we bring healing to Mother Earth, because that was the other thing I was asking about the crystals, is that we take them, we blow Mother Earth up most often, or we make holes in her. When I see some of the size of the great big towers of crystals, it used to break my heart, and I would think, why are we destroying her? But after today's message and finding out more about it, I'm chilled with it now, a little bit more happy about it. But we need to give back. We need to be changing what is in our footprint on the earth. Heal her, we heal ourselves. And that's really important. So I'm going to go now. It's 10 to 5. I better go and change my hairstyle and do something else and get ready for the show on Spiritual Events Directory. So thank you, everyone, for coming on, and for everyone else who will watch at another time. Thank you. And to all you beautiful girls, I'll probably see you in, an hour and a half around there. It would be fantastic. So thank you. Much love to everyone. Bye for now. You're welcome, Tracy, Kat, Jody, all of you.